Welcome to the inaugural episode of Non-Puppet Puppet History. We will see if this has legs.
Yay!
Fantastic.
Puppets don't have legs.
Traditionally, no. So at any time, just throw out comments or questions or death threats.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not that last one, for my self-confidence.
By sundown.
Alright, so,
I have a question.
yes.
Never mind.
Alright, good question.
Riveting content.
So do any of you believe in destiny?
This is a loaded
Where does
question.
the thing go?
In the world.
The slide is gone. That's
There it
good.
goes. Destiny.
The idea that some or all people are simply born with an innate purpose in their lives?
Yes.
No.
If you had the chance to change your fate, would you? Would you? I would like to change a lot of things.
It's 10:18, sir. You don't have time to be existential.
I don't think there is.
No.
Alright.
Yes, there is.
Well, while the existence of fate or some sort of higher power is a hotly contested issue in our world, in the world of One Piece, there's a sure sign that someone will have an important role to play on the world stage.
I hate you.
Question.
Can I?
Yes.
Can I
What is
leave?
this?
One Piece is an anime.
Oh!
Been going on for like 900, 1,000 now?
Over 1,000 chapters.
1,000 chapters.
It is the highest selling manga ever made.
Okay.
And it's great.
I hate
Okay.
you.
And I'm going to talk about it now.
Okay. Okay.
Clear break broke.
In the world of One Piece, there is a sure sign that someone will have an important role to play on the world stage. That sign of power is the middle initial D.
D's nuts.
For whatever reason, a number of incredibly significant individuals all share this middle initial, a phenomenon which has been branded the Will of D. This isn't just the result of parents trying to cash in on some hot trend or ancient prophecy. The D, parentheses, which I have just realized as I write this sentence, will invite so many jokes. As far as we are aware, it doesn't actually stand for anything. It just appears out of nowhere in people's names, and they have to roll with it. The widespread storms of change heralded by those bearing the letter have earned them the collective nickname, the natural enemies of God.
Much like this dude. Oh.
But being a child of destiny isn't all it's cracked up to be. And I figured we should take the time to see how the 10 people that we know of as of chapter 10 to 1019,
Oh, mother.
who inherited the Will of D, ended up. This is the Will of D. Where are they now?
Where are they now?
Let's start by talking about who I'm not going to be talking about. A stretchy young man named Monkey D. Luffy.
Monkey DeLuffy?
D. Luffy, yes.
Okay.
As you may
It's
already-
pronounced Luffy.
It's not.
It's Fluffy.
He said, it's not.
It's
No, that's the
Fluffy.
As you may already know, he is our main protagonist. So talking about his life story would just be recapping the entire plot of One Piece.
Well, do it, coward.
Doing so without gross oversimplification in under a week is an impossible task. So while he will pop up in the stories of some of the other Ds, I will not be discussing him at length.
Get it? Because he can stretch?
Yes.
Oh,
He's basically Mr. Fantastic.
I was gonna say,
He's like
Reed
rubber
Richards,
powers.
hello?
Moving along,
Or Plastic Man.
it would not be an understatement to say that the entire plot of One Piece could not have occurred were it not for the actions of a pirate captain named Gold D. Roger.
Gold.
Yes.
I hate it here.
Ryan saying he a gold Roger.
Despite his humble origins in the
He
village
was-
of Logtown, Gold's
Rogers.
cheerful personality, quick temper, and fierce loyalty towards those he cared for allowed him to amass a sizable crew of followers. Said crew would, over the course of many years, become an utterly unstoppable force, earning Gold the highest bounty of any pirate in history. Also, you make jokes that his name is just Gold, but the world government, basically like the people who rule the world, and the pirates are basically rebelling against, they covered up the fact that his name had a D in it, because the people with the D in their name, the Will of D, they caused so much just worldwide havoc, they wanted to cover up the fact that he was one of them. So whenever they like talked about him in like the news or whatever, they would call him just Gold Roger.
Oh. Interesting.
So it's not just a stupid name. Although it is. Anyway, it's fine. Gold's crew was capable of taking on the armies of multiple countries, the world government's elite marine forces, and even some of his fellow pirates who had consumed powerful devil fruits.
Devil fruits.
Devil fruits are magical, well, fruits that grant special powers to those who eat them. These powers are generally separated into one of three categories. Logia, which grants elemental powers like fire or ice. Zoan, which allowed the user to turn into a human-animal hybrid. And Paramecia, which is basically a random grab bag. That is soap. She has soap powers.
So she gets soap powers and she can't swim in the ocean.
Correct.
This seems like a terrible deal.
Some of them are better than others, yes, especially with Paramecia.
Okay.
One of Goal's biggest rivals was the Paramecia user, Shiki, the Golden Lion.
Question.
Wait.
What's up?
First of all, spooky. Second of all, where can I get these devil fruits?
They're very rare and highly sought after, but they're scattered pretty frequently around the world because a lot of people have them.
Okay. Love it.
So they are common but expensive and hard to get.
Tricky.
So, trivia question 1. What was Shiki's devil fruit power? A. The float fruit, with the power to levitate objects. B. The bomb fruit, with the power to create explosions. C. The mix fruit, with the power to fuse himself with other people. They're all named like this, I don't know why.
Okay.
So just say A, B, or C.
Hold on. Let me just make up my mind. Okay.
See if you can glean any hints from his character design. You probably can't.
No.
I have made my choice.
Alright.
My choice.
Yeah.
What you got?
B.
Alright.
I chose C.
Alright.
I also chose B because he looks like the kind of lizard.
He looks like a bomb
fire.
boy.
Come on, mix.
Unfortunately, it's A.
Oh!
He carries like an entire island around with him because he can affect that much material with his anti-gravity powers. Like his whole fleet is just an island that floats around over the ocean.
Oh, good.
That's actually pretty cool.
Despite the efforts of his many enemies and rivals, Goldie Roger had a long, incredibly successful career, earning him the title King of the Pirates. After years of sailing all over the world, making friends, kicking butts, and making the world government look like total idiots, one day, Goal learned of some terrible news. Trivia question 2. What did Goal find out? A. One of his many lovers was pregnant. B. His right-hand man was a marine informant the whole time. C. He only had a few years left to live.
Okay.
What you got?
I have chosen A. Homeboy F's.
Alright.
C.
Alright.
I also picked C.
What the heck?
He's dying.
What the heck?
It's probably B.
Dang it!
Lee and Lily receive 1 history point each.
Yay!
If I don't get jelly beans, you will be killed.
Crap, we're gonna buy those at like a gas station or something.
You
There'll
still
be
can.
a reward on Sunday. We'll go get jelly beans on the way back.
You will get jelly beans for the winner.
When we're cousins, when we get.
Oh! I'm done. Continue.
So yes, he was unfortunately terminally ill.
Question.
Yes.
Does he have lovers?
Yes.
Alright. Goldie. Put the D in D.
Look at this
Lot of
man and
D
tell me
jokes.
he does not have lovers.
With that mustache? Or come on.
Okay.
Come on.
My MacBook like screen went off, but it looks like it's
Oh.
still recording, so
Alright,
it's probably
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
Okay.
Probably fine. Okay.
Everything's fine.
It seemed like the legend of Goldie Roger was going to come to an abrupt end. With this information in mind, he traveled to a secret island not marked on any map and hid his entire treasure hoard there. This source of unimaginable wealth, which would make anyone who found it the new king of the pirates, would later come to be known as the One Piece.
And we have a title!
Roll credits.
Wow!
After disbanding his crew and getting his worldly affairs all sorted out, he decided the best thing to do was to go out on his own terms. Question 3. These are not evenly split up. Some of them have like 1 question, others have like 5, it's fine. How did Goldie Roger decide to die? A. He turned himself into the Marines and was publicly executed. B. He sailed into the Marines HQ with a huge bomb and took as many of them down with him as he could. C. He entombed himself in a golden sarcophagus hidden amongst the contents of One Piece.
Question.
Yes.
Does he always smile like that?
Yes.
Okay, I gotta
Question,
compliment his hat.
why?
But look at his
He should
hat.
stop.
He's very
Look at
happy.
his hat.
Very jaunty.
It's himself.
I appreciate his
Yeah.
mustache.
I know, the skull has a mustache.
If you gotta be smiling like your skull on your own hat, I respect that. Okay,
You have your answers.
I do.
Yeah.
Alright.
Mine is B.
I say B.
I said C. He's gonna die with his money.
I feel like he has to make a statement, you know?
Yeah, he's
Nobody
gotta go out with a
cares
big
if he's in
bang
a
boom.
Listen, he's
Sarcophagus.
gonna die.
Sarcophagus.
He spent his whole
A
life
car's
getting all this
esophagus.
money. He's gonna be with it.
Cars
He's
for
gonna
become the
the
money.
doctor.
Unfortunately, history points to no one.
Good
What?
lord!
That's a loser way to die.
so
What a
lame.
coward's move.
Hang on.
Ugh.
Claire, your point about he has to go out with a statement may be more relevant than you thought. The Marines leapt at the chance to make an example out of the most famous pirate of all time, and immediately set up an execution platform in Logue Town, which is funny because it's like prologue or epilogue, L-O-G-U-E town. However, just before the final blow was struck, Goldie Roger told the crowd below of the existence of the One Piece, sparking a global frenzy to discover the location of his vast wealth. This led to a new golden age of piracy, known as the Age of Dreams.
Age of Dreams.
Yep. Goldie Roger lived an exceptional life indeed, and was more than worthy of inheriting the Will of D.
The Will of D's nuts.
Yes.
I will make way more of those.
I know
Just
you
be
will.
prepared.
I realized that with about 10 sentences into the script.
Will of D's nuts make your mouth.
Alright. Next up is a woman who, compared to Goal, got kind of a rough deal. Porgas de Rouge was an ordinary woman living on the tropical island of Badarella. Her life was mostly uneventful, with one major exception. She became the lover of Goldie Roger.
Let's go!
Now this happened later on in Goal's life, after he had mostly retired from piracy, but you can bet that after he turned his own execution into a TED Talk that sparked a worldwide crime wave, the world government was very interested in finding out if he had any heirs. Unfortunately for Rouge, she was pregnant with one such heir. With the Marines searching for any children who could possibly be the Pirate King's progeny, Rouge did the only thing she could think of. She treated her baby like a fart and held it in.
No!
Trivia question 4. Free write. How many months was Rouge pregnant?
Okay.
Leah, do you have an answer?
19.
Alright, Claire?
69.
I said 34.
34? That's very specific.
I'm gonna give Leah a history point for that one, only off by 1.
Wow!
Pregnant for 20 months.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of months.
That's a lot of
How?
months.
Girl, how?
Willpower.
Willpower. Woo!
She really didn't want her baby to get murdered by the government.
I mean,
so,
fair.
So she's like, I'll
How
just...
big
She
was
just held
that?
it in.
I'm sorry, I procrastinate so much.
How big
Oh
was
my
that
gosh,
baby
no.
when she came out? He came out. I don't want to
They-
change it. No!
After almost 2 years, she finally let it rip and probably died in childbirth.
Probably.
Probably because the baby was like 20 pounds.
Baby
Promptly.
Oh, promptly. I was
Promptly
like,
died in
ew.
childbirth. Goal's only son was left to be cared for by a Marine Vice Admiral that Goal had established a sort of friendly rivalry with. We'll get back to Goal's son later, but on the scale of world-changing actions, Rouge is pretty low on the list.
We
Wow.
love a writer who knows how to write female
That's how you
characters.
treat women.
Women.
For now, let's talk about the most mysterious
What
person
the
on the
heck
list.
is that?
Rox D. Zebek. We only learned about Rox's existence recently, so we don't know a ton about the guy yet, including what he looks like out of silhouette.
Love it.
This is the best image we
He
have
looks
of him.
like,
Willem Dafoe.
no. No.
Yeah?
He looks like the Kiss guy. What's his name?
Oh, Gene Simmons?
She said Keen Simmons.
Keen Simmons,
King
yes.
Simmons, yes. He looks like King Simmons from the Scooby-Doo one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Keen.
We do know that he was active during the same time that Goal was, but he didn't want to be king of the pirates. He wanted to be king of the world.
Oh, naturally.
To do so, he formed a sort of Legion of Doom out of Goal's other big rivals, when they met up by chance on the uncreatively named Pirate Island.
Wow.
Wow.
Their members included
Oh, let's go.
Shiki, the Golden Lion, who we talked about earlier, Edward Newgate, aka Whitebeard, wielder of what is considered to be the strongest paramecia fruit, the Quake fruit. And no, I don't know why he's named Whitebeard when he only has a mustache.
Because it's funny. Big Mom?
Charlotte Lindland, aka Big Mom, the tallest human in the world and the mother of over 100 children.
What?
Girl.
I mean, they're
That's
not
a
wrong.
move
How tall
to
is
go
she?
Also, fellas, I
Milk.
think
She is at, there is a race in the One Piece world of giants, like actual, like, big giants. She is of equal height to them, but is not one of them. And Whitebeard is super tall, and he's like half giant. Charlotte is just really huge
How
for
tall
some
is
reason.
she?
I don't know. an exact number. I want to say like 20 feet tall.
It's 20 feet.
That's a guess, I don't know.
20 weeks, 20 feet.
Wow.
She ate the soul fruit, letting her either place souls inside of inanimate objects to bring them to life, or rip pre-existing souls out of living beings to steal away years of their lifespan.
So is that why she's a mom? Because she made a bunch of inanimate objects have life?
Partially, she also just gave birth a lot.
Jeez. Wow.
Kaido, aka the strongest creature, who is so strong that even he can't kill himself.
Oh!
What he can do is turn into a giant dragon whose breath can destroy mountains, thanks to his mythical zoan fruit, the strongest kind of zoan fruit, which causes the eater to turn into not an animal hybrid but a fantasy creature hybrid.
Question.
Yes.
How do we know he can't kill himself?
We are introduced to him by him jumping like from cloud height onto an island in an attempt to kill himself, and he survives like barely scathed.
Why is he
sad?
is he saved?
He's been immortal for a while.
Oh, I would try to. Never mind. Too sad to be do. Continue, please.
The fact that Rox was able to get all of these monsters to be his subordinates is a testament to the sheer power he must have wielded. The Rox pirates probably began spreading fear and terror all over the world. Eventually, Gold realized that something had to be done, setting into motion a plan that would culminate in a place called God Valley. Question 5. What was Gold's plan at God Valley? A. Blow up the entire island while the Rox pirates were on it. B. Team up with the Marines to beat the crap out of them. C. Pray to the eponymous god of the valley to smite them.
I've had very bad luck so far. So I don't want to go with my immediate choice.
I have an answer. But
Okay.
I'm gonna wait till.
Alright.
C.
Leah says C.
I also chose C.
Alright.
I also chose C. Dad, can you get these guys for me?
History points for no one.
Oh.
Dang it!
Why would he team up with the people who execute him later in the future?
Because the Rox pirates were a menace to everyone,
Oh god.
including pirates and Marines.
Oh, it's Goal's plan?
It was Goal's plan, yes.
Wait, I thought he was dead already.
This was before. Rox
Oh,
was
but
active.
that's, okay.
Rox was active during the same time that
Gotta
Goal
switch the
was.
baseball
My
hat.
hat's backwards now, so I can focus like a Chad.
Alright.
What's the name? Big Chad Thundercock?
Sure.
It's our name. Yeah? It's our name.
If you're wondering how a pirate of Goal's status and a Marine higher-up came to be friends, this is how. While we don't know exactly how the showdown in God Valley ended, we do know that the Rox pirates were disbanded and Rox himself died soon afterwards.
Oofa.
He was an exceptional man, if for no other reason than the amount of major world figures with past ties to him. Next, let's talk about the oddball of the list, Jaguar D. Saul. Jaguar was a giant, a member of that race that I mentioned beforehand, who held the position of Marine Vice Admiral. One day, while patrolling around doing marine things, he found a ship full of archaeologists, who were declared wanted by the world government. Question 6. Why? What were these archaeologists doing wrong? A. Smuggling drugs disguised as artifacts. B. Trespassing on sacred lands. C. Investigating a worldwide conspiracy.
Why is that man's hair
I
closed?
was
I was
gonna
gonna
say, I
say.
think there is a fourth answer, which is D, which is having just the most buck wild hair in the whole
I think his
world.
name is Professor Clover.
Oh.
Oh, I hate it here.
It's fine.
I hate it here. I have chosen drugs.
Alright.
I have also chosen drugs.
Leah?
Trespassing.
History points for no one.
I'm gonna make death to myself.
No,
I'm gonna log off.
not allowed.
No, kill yourself.
These archaeologists were investigating the Void Century.
Without me.
Sorry.
These archaeologists were investigating the Void Century, a 100-year period that was so buck wild that no one was allowed to record what happened on anything but huge, nigh-indecipherable stone cubes called poneglyphs. For the crime of deciphering poneglyphs, Jaguar's marine crew, against his orders, slaughtered everyone on the ship except for a woman named Nico Olvia, who was thrown in jail. Understandably pissed, Jaguar let Olvia go in secret and quit the Marines. He was then immediately struck by a brutal storm and got casted away. Eventually, he would wash up on an island called O'Hara. There, he made friends with an outcast little girl named Nico Robin. In a stroke of luck, she was Olvia's daughter. In a stroke of not luck, the world government sent for a buster call on Ohara soon after.
What's a buster
A buster call is
That a
a
rabbit?
Trivia question 7, what's a buster call?
Arthur?
answer.
We
D.
call the rabbit from Arthur.
Buster.
It's not calling the rabbit from Arthur.
D is calling the rabbit from Arthur. E is Buster Nuts.
It's not.
Buster's nuts, I hardly know her. At least take me on a date first.
A, an emergency draft of every civilian on an island into the Marines.
That's a snail?
We'll get there. B, sending an entire fleet to wipe an island's population off the map. C, designating an island as a chemical weapon experimentation zone. Also, in One Piece world, all long-distance communication is done by snails.
That's ironic.
I hate his lips.
It's ironic,
I
it's snail
really
mail,
dislike
yes.
his lips.
This is the special snail that calls it a buster call.
I see.
Imagine being the snail to make those buster calls.
He's like, oh, again?
He said,
Right.
"Murmur, time to bust a nut."
Alright, what you got your answers?
B.
I put C.
I said B.
Bikini Atoll.
Alright.
Come on, history points.
History points for Claire and Leah. It turns out that Ohara was home to a whole society of archaeologists that were studying the Void Century, so they were kind of screwed from the start. Jaguar fought off the Buster Call's ships as best he could, but he and Olvia ultimately sacrificed themselves to allow Robin to escape. At first, it seems like Saul didn't really accomplish much less something worthy of bearing the D. However, after a childhood of being hunted by the Marines and joining an organized crime syndicate called Baroque Works, Nico Robin would meet a pirate captain named Monkey D. Luffy, and her poneglyph deciphering abilities would prove to be invaluable to his crew of Straw Hat pirates. So ultimately, Jaguar did end up changing the world, but like Rouge, only indirectly and posthumously.
Wow.
Speaking of Marines with the D,
Let's
let's talk about that admiral that Goal was friends with.
Wait, monkey.
Yes.
His dad.
Okay.
We'll get there.
What?
Monkey D. Garp was something of a celebrity, known far
Garp
and
is such a name.
Yep. Was something of a celebrity, known far and wide as the hero of the Marines for facing off against Gold multiple times.
Oh.
His fame and the fact that he was able to match the power of the Pirate King were pretty much the only reasons why he wasn't fired for constantly questioning orders.
Question, what's his power?
He's just really strong.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
He does not have a devil fruit.
He doesn't have.
Oh, he doesn't have a devil fruit?
His
No.
power
Oh,
is
no,
his power is he can actually swim.
Yes.
Oh.
After Goal's execution, Garp returned to his homeland in the Kingdom of Goa to raise 3 rambunctious young boys.
Why?
His grandson, Monkey
Wait,
D. Luffy.
wait.
What?
Why is he shaped like that?
Oh,
You gotta get used to One Piece character design.
I
No.
see.
I don't know if I can.
Why are his arms like that?
It's fine.
Wait, a podcast
His
again?
arms are so little and his torso is so wide.
It's fine.
Wait,
His-
why? There's another Portkiss.
His grandson, Monkey D. Luffy, the secret son of Goldie Roger, Portgas D. Ace,
Oh.
and Sabo, the rebellious son of a local noble family. Just like how he would train rookie Marines, Garp did his best to mold the boys into shining beacons of virtue, sure to become symbols of pride for the world government for years to come. He failed utterly, probably because he left most of the work to a local gang of bandits.
Oh.
The boys swore to all become the best pirates the world had ever known.
Yes.
The best pirates the world had ever known, at least in part as a big screw you to their deadbeat granddad.
Oof a doof.
I hate his arms so much.
Now
Yeah.
look at that.
Trivia question 8. We got Monkey D. Luffy and Porcos D. Ace. Whatever happened to Sabo? A. A passing snooty politician exploded him with a bazooka.
I hope so.
B. He was recaptured and sent back to his noble family. C. He failed at piracy so badly that he joined the Marines after all.
I really hope it's A.
Anything other than A is worthless to me.
I know it's probably gonna be C, but I'm gonna go with A.
I'm going
with A.
boom boom baby.
Everyone's going for A.
Bazooka dook.
History points for everyone!
Go! Bazooka baby.
Do you
Do
have
we
a
have?
clip?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we get to watch it?
Here's the aftermath. So basically, the world nobles, the celestial dragons, as they are called, the descendants of the people who founded the world government, they are the worst, and they wear bubble helmets so they don't have to breathe the same air as peasants. And they ride around slaves like horses. They just sit on their backs so they don't have to do their own walking. So one of them was sailing towards Goa at the same time that Sabo was like, I'm gonna go on my own pirate adventure. He was like, ew, what is this peasant child? Destroy him. And they blew him up.
him. Oh my
Wow.
land.
I'm glad we all had the same
Committed to
correct
the
idea.
After Sabo's unfortunate incineration, Ace and Luffy became proper pirates, dedicating themselves to infuriating Garp at every possible turn. Up until his retirement, following a certain traumatic event that we'll get to later, he tried in vain to wrangle the monsters he accidentally created. The D certainly doesn't stand for dad, because Garp's skills in child rearing were anything but exceptional.
The D stands for
Deadbeat.
dang, I didn't raise my
There you go.
kids.
And so, we finally arrive at the unusual journey of Porcos the Ace.
Okay, pop off, sir.
A few years,
Oh no, I was gonna say the same thing.
a few years after he took off from Go.
Don't sim for a poor guy.
Listen, it's in the eyebrows.
Listen, we're not simping. We're
not.
simply admiring the fact that he is handsome.
He is a handsome, and he got freckles. He can't not look at those freckles right now.
I know.
One Piece character designs are just all over the spectrum.
I was gonna say,
of
if you had
aesthetics.
given him disproportionate arms and torso, we would be having this discussion.
A few years after he took off from Goa, he not only formed his own pirate crew, the Spade Pirates, but also consumed the Flame Logia fruit, which would end up giving him his infamous nickname.
Flame boy.
Question 9. What was Ace's fire-based nickname? Free right.
Oh. Question: why is his forehead so big?
It's oh.
Don't worry about it.
It's less good
Does it
than
hide
hair.
the fruit?
What?
Does it hide the fruit?
He does not.
Is that where he stores the fruit?
No. Do we have answers? Or do you need more time to go with the nickname?
I've got mine.
Alright.
I'll go first. I said Flame Yo Hot Man.
Alright.
You gotta go.
I don't have one. Hot Cheetos, man.
Mine's Toasty McHot Man.
Flame Yo Hot Man's from Avatar, but
It's Fire Fist Ace.
So I think we're all very
that
close.
sucks. I think ours are better.
Yeah.
Toasty McHot Man? Why would you not?
I don't think anybody gets a history point.
What?
No one was close.
Mine has a Mick in it though.
His name does not have a Mick in it.
It has a
Good.
C.
Yes.
Who has the most safe number of letters?
Ace's mission was to find the 4 emperors, pirates who were so strong that they could claim dozens of islands as their personal territory, and beat the crap out of all of them.
Oh.
As a fun side note, 3 of the 4 emperors used to be members of the Rocks Pirates.
Oh.
Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido are all 4 emperors.
Interesting.
Ace started by going after Kaido in Wano country, which is basically just Japan. But Kaido wasn't home, so he left. Things didn't improve when Ace finally tracked down Whitebeard, and the entire Spade pirate crew got the crap kicked out of them. It's almost like this was a terrible idea or something.
Who would have thunk?
It's like, well, my
No,
first
this
mission
was a-
is to pick a fight with the 4 most powerful people on the planet.
This is a perfect idea.
This will go well.
Nothing will ever go wrong about this.
Impressed by the young lad's hubris, Whitebeard forcibly adopted him.
Oh, my
Forcibly.
son now.
Yes. After a couple assassination attempts. I love this picture.
Why is his mustache like that though?
Why he?
Well, those are like IV tubes.
Oh.
Whitebeard
Oh,
was
is he just
sick
so
for a while.
old?
Those like the breathing things he got in the nose.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the cannula.
So,
He had to have a lot of nurses on board his ship for a while.
What happened right after this frame?
Whitebeard caught the axe, I'm pretty sure.
Hot dang.
He's really strong.
Anyway,
After a couple assassination attempts, the two grew to respect one another. However, things went south when another member of Whitebeard's crew used some complicated political mind game shenaniganery to get Ace captured by the Marines. And by that I mean he killed the guy, and when Ace went to get revenge, he beat the crap out of him and left him to get caught.
oof.
Oh.
After being arrested, Ace was held in a maximum security prison Impel Down, leading up to his execution.
What, he was executed?
Question 10. How did Luffy react to Ace's imprisonment? They were planning to execute him. They're going to execute him, they're keeping him in prison until then. Question 10. How did Luffy react? A. Appealing to the Marines for mercy. B. Begrudgingly leaving him to his fate. C. Classic jailbreak, baby!
It has to be C.
I have to pick C.
Because if
Brains.
it's A, I will be big mad.
What did you say?
Brains.
You picked A. Alright.
Yes.
Come on, C.
History point for Lillian Claire.
Lydia?
Lydia Claire.
Come on, you can't just
Jailbreak, baby!
you can't just make the obvious answer the obvious answer.
Like any good impulsive shonen protagonist, Luffy went right in there to try and get his brother back, only to arrive minutes too late to catch Ace before he was sent to the execution platform. The three-way battle that ensued during the execution ceremony between Luffy and his ragtag group of friends, the most powerful marine admirals and their forces, and the Whitebeard pirates, might still be the most chaotic single set piece in anime history. Ultimately, however, Luffy was able to save his brother from meeting the same fate as his father.
Cool.
How much longer did Ace survive thanks to Luffy?
Oh no.
A. Many long, happy years of pirating. B. Like 10 minutes at most.
Oh no.
C. A couple months before a random tragic accident took him out.
Oh, minutes.
I've also chosen B.
Listen, I want it to be A, but I know this man did not live very long.
The comedic
It has to be
timing.
B.
History points for all of you.
Let's go!
Oh.
As it turns out, one of the aforementioned powerful marine admirals named Akainu just so happened to have a magma-based devil fruit power that was a perfect counter to Ace's fire. So when he was about to kill Luffy, Ace stepped in and took the finishing blow. After spending multiple arcs trying to save his brother, Luffy was completely unable to protect him. This mentally destroyed him, requiring an entire 2-year time skip to recover.
Wow.
Oh, and then Whitebeard died too, because of this next D-bag.
Oh no.
Way.
So yeah, that sucked.
That's an oof and a half.
Oh,
There
boy.
goes our hot man.
Rest in peace.
Rest in
You
Rest
were,
in
you were too
peace.
fine for this
You were
world.
Yeah.
We did not deserve you.
In a series as massive in scope as One Piece, it's hard to identify any one character as the main villain. However, a decent argument could be made for Marshall D. Teach,
Wasn't it-
aka
question.
Blackbeard.
I was
Yes?
gonna say, wasn't Edward Teach Blackbeard?
Yes.
Oh.
Therefore,
So why did they change his name to Marshall?
because they can't just name him completely after the historical character.
I mean, why not?
He went to Marshall's and he said, "Oh, I love it. I will be here forever."
An argument could be made for Marshall D.
I've never
Teach,
seen
aka Blackbeard, just because of how much crap he's pulled. Remember that guy who lured Ace into a trap to get him caught by the Marines?
Yes.
Oh.
That was Blackbeard.
Oh.
He basically set up this whole Ace execution scenario to kill Whitebeard, his former captain. The reason why he was able to take Ace down so easily is because his devil fruit is one of the craziest in the series so far, the Dark Fruit, which can not only make black holes, but nullify other devil fruit powers.
That's
Can
too
he
much.
also swim?
No.
Wow.
Throw him overboard.
That's not that.
Once he formed his own crew, oh, by the way, question 12,
Oh.
which one of these characters is not part of Blackbeard's crew?
Is that a horse?
Yes. A. Doc Q. B. Warden Magellan. C. Jesus Burgess. There's no accent over his E. It's Jesus. His name is Jesus.
Okay, which
Hey,
one's
hey,
not?
Which one of these is not part of Blackbeard's crew? Two of them are.
Doc.
I think he is the main front runner of the crew. I think that horseman has it going. I'm gonna say the warden is not.
Lily?
See, I'm saying Jesus is not, because I hate his stupid arms.
Alright, we've got one of each. And as a history point, to Claire.
Ooh, what? But he's a cool dragon.
He is in charge of Impel Down, the prison that Ace got sent to. He is actually a warden, that's not just his name.
Oh. I just thought he looked too nifty and out of place.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I thought that was the point. It was like, ooh, that's just that guy with a horse.
Anyway.
Well,
Wait,
yeah.
are we not learning more about the horseman?
No.
But Doc Q. Q
We
is
don't
almost.
actually know a lot about Blackbeard's crew members right now. We know like their names and appearances, but not a ton of like what their
You've had
powers are.
1,000 episodes, and you cannot name more than like a fact about this man.
Why is he?
Give us a whole season on Doc Q.
That's how
That's-
the
that's our
writers
God.
are just bad at doing
Um,
jobs.
Question.
Anyway.
Question.
Yes.
Why is he so wrinkly? Are those wrinkles?
I think those are just like
I think it's
body
definition
Are they
lines.
stretch marks?
I think it's body hair.
Oh, it might be hair.
It
It might be hair because he's got his shirt open, and that's,
That's
just
not
his
how hair
stomach.
works.
Hair's like
Well,
up down.
it's different in animation.
Is he the Infinity Gauntlet?
Once he formed his own crew, they just strolled right up to the site of the already chaotic battle and murdered Whitebeard. And what's worse, somehow, Blackbeard is able to steal the powers of the Quake fruit for his own, despite the fact that it's normally impossible for anyone to consume more than one devil fruit without dying. He literally put a tarp over himself and Whitebeard's corpse during the process so that nobody, not even the audience, can learn the secret to doing so.
A
I
tarp.
bet he.
He just put a tarp over him and Whitebeard's body,
Let's
and when he
talk
came
about
out of it,
The D. It's the power of the D.
Teach hasn't made any huge
Double dip.
Teach hasn't made any huge plays since then, but with how much he's been built up as a force to be reckoned with, I can't imagine he'll stay on the down low forever. For our penultimate D-wielder, we have to rewind to Garp. If Luffy is Garp's grandson, then who's Garp's kid? Did he do a better job of raising them to be part of the Marines?
No.
If you've been paying attention, you know the answer is, of course not. Monkey D. Dragon is the supreme commander of the Revolutionary Army, an organization that has quite possibly done more to destabilize the world government than any normal pirate crew.
Love it.
Rather than sailing around looking for treasure and butting heads with Marines along the way, the revolutionaries use espionage and direct tactical operations to attempt to overthrow the system. Dragon has gotten very good at his job, but unfortunately, said job takes up a lot of time. When was the last time Dragon saw Luffy in person? A. When Luffy was about to be publicly executed by a clown. Another great frame here.
I love the
B. When Luffy got turned into a Frankenstein monster on a zombie island. C. When Luffy was born.
Probably born.
I was gonna say, I think it's
I'm
born.
gonna go with the clown execution.
That's a history point for Lily!
This is bull. This is garbage. I hate it here.
This is the scene that happened. This is an arc.
I hate it so much.
Buggy
What
the
was like,
Clown
do you
is-
want to know why I picked that one and not when he was born?
Why?
Because this man seems like too much of a deadbeat to be there for his own son's birth.
My
Fair.
parents weren't even there at my own birth.
Was he Doofenshmirtz?
Yeah.
It seems that Dragon got the bad dad genes from Garp because he hasn't directly met up with his son since chapter 100 out of chapter 1000. He's very proud of Luffy's anti-establishment actions, at least. Despite his subpar parenting, he is certainly making an effort to change the world, and he might just do it with the help of a certain individual who the world at large thought was long since dead. Trivia question 14. Who joined the Revolutionary Army after dying? A. Sabo. B. Jaguar. C. Rouge.
Oh.
Wait, one of them is not dead?
Yep, one of them secretly joined the Revolutionary Army.
I'm gonna say Jaguar.
Okay, so the one that got bazookaed, the one that was on the island and supposedly sacrificed himself, or the one who said pregnant? No. I think it's the Jaguar man. I think it's the giant.
I think it's Explosion Boy because
You
listen,
think bazookaed?
I think
Ooh.
Bazooka Boy.
You know, we
Listen.
didn't see an actual frame of him. You just saw his little hat
Yeah, no.
thingy.
That's a
Listen,
history
I-
point for Lily!
I can guarantee. I was gonna say I can guarantee you it's not the mom because the writers do not know what to do with women.
Well, we knew it wasn't her.
Plot twist, Sabo didn't die from getting blown up by a passing aristocrat. He was found and adopted by Dragon, who would later inherit Ace's Flame fruit, because when devil fruit users die, the fruits just kinda respawn.
Oh.
Huh.
Why does
fun.
everyone just adopt people?
It's fun.
Wouldn't you?
Where are the social workers in this,
Wouldn't you?
universe?
If they work for the
Where are
government,
the
they're
adoption
probably...
agencies, Lily?
Listen,
Where are they?
The only two groups in this world, as far as I care about or know about, are pirates and
Everyone else.
Marines. And
If-
that's it. And
If the
also
social
the
workers
dragon.
work for the world government, they're probably corrupt.
So
Oofa-doof.
So hey, at least Dragon could
there's
raise
no
one
place to
child,
put
right?
social workers here.
You should be the first. Go into One Piece.
Let me
a pirate.
just disproportionate myself and give me a weird,
Would you have a D?
you know I would have a D.
Claire Olivia.
Holy.
Good, Olivia.
It's Olivia.
Leah said that, I love it.
So
What's
hey,
up? My name
at
is
least
Owen.
Dragon could raise one child, right? Still puts him above Garp. Monkey D. Dragon, despite having a stupid name, is certainly deserving of the D.
At long last.
He said, I knew this would be a joke, proceeds to make the ew.
We arrive at the final inheritor of the Will of D, Trafalgar D. Waterlaw.
Please let me know. Please tell me he dies. Yeah, I get terminal illness.
Law's childhood, to put it shortly, sucked eggs. Thanks to him being born in a mining town, he got the equivalent of black lung, and was destined to die before reaching adulthood. He only managed to escape the quarantining and extermination of his hometown by the world government by hiding in a giant pile of dead bodies.
Ah, good.
After arriving at the town of Spider Miles,
Huh.
because sometimes the author just likes to take random English words and put them together and that's his name.
I don't know.
Hence also people named Rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tried
Wait,
to
is this
join
the same as Trafalgar Law?
Trafalgar D. Waterlaw is his full name, yes.
Oh. I thought he had a longer nose. Who's that?
You mean Usopp?
I don't know.
Usopp has an extremely long nose.
I thought that was Trafalgar.
No.
Wow, I have never watched
I don't
or
know
read
anything
a
that's happening.
I
single...
don't know. I thought
thing of
Long
this.
Nose Man was Trafalgar.
No.
The fact that
Usopp.
y'all are speaking another language right
I just know there's a guy with a really long nose.
now.
There's a couple. He tried to join the local Don Quixote pirate crew by approaching their
What?
captain,
Donkey.
Don Quixote
Don
Doflamingo.
Quixote.
Oh, that guy
Oh.
with the boa?
Yes, with a very interesting offer. What was Law's
Elton John?
negotiating?
Yeah.
What was Law's negotiating tactic? A. Offering them all the loot from his now empty hometown. B. Giving them intel on some nearby marine outposts. C. Strapping himself with bombs and threatening to blow them up.
Oh,
Well,
no.
probably.
Okay.
I'll say C.
I don't trust my brain anymore because it's wrong.
I'm also
So I will
gonna
trust
say
Leah's
C.
brain and say C.
Oh, don't trust mine.
That's a history point for everybody!
Yeah, good brain, Leah.
Child suicide bomb threat. Oops.
No!
Oops.
I was gonna say, his power to me, given just the way that he looks, not this man, I don't
A
trust this
lot.
man.
Who is this man?
I do not trust this man.
Doflamingo is extremely powerful pirate. He is basically holding an entire island hostage.
Wow.
He has string power. His signature move is the bird cage, where he extends string around, like, up and around the borders of an island, which is forming a bird cage, and then the bars of the bird cage come closer and closer and closer and closer, and they just slice and crush everything in their path until they meet in the middle, until his demands are met.
Oh.
Oof.
He's terrifying.
No.
With a name like Flamingo?
I was gonna say the other boy
Law.
looks like he cannot. Looks like his power has something to do with not being able to die.
Let's find out. Amused by his desperation, Doflamingo accepted Law into the group, where he was placed under the mentorship of the captain's brother, Don Quixote Rocinante, or Corazon for short. After a rough start where Law tried to stab him to death, Corazon bonded with the little upstart.
What is with this?
This is
This is, I was gonna say, this is a pipeline.
bad parents are a thing in One Piece, it's fine.
Adoption to assassination attempt to actually respecting pipeline.
Yes. The two plan to undermine their crazy murderous captain by stealing an incredibly powerful devil fruit that could, as a fun side effect, cure Law's illness.
Oh.
Unfortunately, right after Law ate the fruit, Doflamingo found out what they were up to and murdered his brother in cold blood. Thankfully, Corazon was able to hide Law away in his last moments, and Law went on to swear revenge against Don Quixote.
There's a cool frame though in that second picture.
Yeah,
Wait, okay, that's Flamingo and who?
that was Corazon, the brother.
Okay, what's Corazon's power?
He could create bubbles of pure silence. He could just mute sound in an area.
Oh,
That helped him hide Law from Doflamingo.
Oh.
exciting.
Law's devil fruit, the Ope fruit, is one of the most versatile in the entire series, granting him access to a wide variety of medical-themed techniques. He can amputate body parts while dealing no damage to the amputee, electrocute people like a defibrillator, and even Freaky Friday people by removing and swapping around their hearts,
Oh,
as seen in that cube.
okay.
Oh, I do
Why
not
is
care for this.
His fingers say deet.
Death.
Detour.
He's got an H on the thumb.
I like deet.
To eat.
However, there is one technique that makes the Ope fruit one of the most sought-after devil fruits in the world. Doflamingo was very interested in this ability, to the point of orchestrating a globe-spanning scheme to try and brainwash Law into using it for his own gain. What is the Ope's ultimate move? A. Sacrificing the user's life to make someone else immortal. B. Allowing the user to bring other people back to life after they die. C. Summoning a magical genie!
That one.
I'm so glad I was to work the genie running joke into this.
I love that.
That's a real devil fruit that someone has.
Oh,
That's a real devil fruit power, summoning a genie.
that's a bit in puppet history where there's always a question about a genie that Shane has a weird bit about.
And it's like, well, obviously it's not the genie question, but this time it might be the genie.
I'm gonna
What do we think?
I'm gonna say A.
Alright.
I think I'm gonna say B.
Leah.
Genie.
Alright. That is a history point for Claire.
Let's go! I feel like that would be something he would want because he doesn't care about other people, so he can just be like,
The genie is actually currently owned by one of Big Mom's many sons.
you go, girl.
Not
Your vagina must be so tired.
Makes sense.
Law grew up, now that he actually could grow up, to form the Heart Pirates, no relation to Ace's Spade Pirates, and eventually became known as a member of the Worst Generation, a diverse group of pirates who dealt serious damage to the Marines and world government, despite having been pirating for relatively short amounts of time.
Excellent.
Question 17. Who is not part of the Worst Generation? A. Scratchman Apu, who can turn into musical instruments.
I
Delete
hate that.
everything on this screen.
B. Charlotte Katakuri, who can turn into mochi. C. Capone Beach, who can turn into a castle.
These feel like really bad gifts.
Listen.
I picked the
this
most
is
buck
why-
wild possible powers.
This
Only
is
one
why-
of these isn't in the worst generation.
This is why if someone was like, "Hey, take this double fruit to get powers," but you won't be able to swim, I'd be like, I'm gonna keep being able to swim. Because what if my power is something like your entire body turns into cotton candy? I don't like it.
What if you
here.
turn your arm into a saxophone?
I would
This
rather
sucks.
be dead.
I hate it here.
His teeth are piano keys, and he can play them.
I hate it here.
I'm
I
gonna
hate
say.
Which one of these isn't an incredibly powerful pirate?
I'm gonna say that the castle guy isn't real. I
Alright.
mean, like, isn't in the
Yeah.
generation.
I'm gonna say castle.
Alright.
Oh.
I think Mochi is a pirate.
I'm all. Oh.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was also thinking castle guy, but I think that's because he's older. I don't think it's because I think he's like an older guy. I don't think he's part of this group.
So everyone's saying Capone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Al Capone.
History points for no one. It's Mochi.
Fine.
He's also one of Big Mom's sons.
Oh.
Mochi?
Yep.
Dang, girl.
I really love the way Capone's powers work. Basically, he has like a shrinking field around him, so like people can jump inside of him, like his drawbridge stomach, and they can fit a whole lot of people and weapons in there. Like those are little cannons in
Is he
there.
a Trojan horse?
Basically,
I
those
love
little
it.
cannons, they fire little cannonballs, but as soon as they exit the shrinking field, they go to full size.
Dang.
So we can have his entire gang and pirate crews operating inside of his body, and no one will know because he's normally sized.
Wow.
It's very interesting.
See, I feel like he was too cool to. I hate that hat.
Yeah.
I hate it
Law
so
and Luffy
much.
first met up when the entirety of the Worst Generation happened to be on the same archipelago, and afterwards he's met up with the Straw Hats more frequently than any other member of the Worst Generation, besides the members that are Straw Hats, of course. His dynamic with Luffy is one of the most interesting and entertaining in the series. When Law tried to ally with the Straw Hats to take down Don Quixote, he expected it to be like every other pirate alliance, a professional arrangement filled with tension over when the inevitable betrayal would occur. Luffy accepted immediately with no questions and acted like they'd just become best friends. This frame is one of my favorites because, like, he just made the deal and Luffy's like, hell yeah, let's do it. And everyone else on Luffy's crew is like, this is a bad idea, he's going to betray us. And Luffy turns to Law and says, are you going to betray us? And Law says, no. And Luffy turns back to his crew like that. See, I told you.
Wow.
I love it.
It's the little star for me.
Despite being irritated by his carefree optimism, Law has grown to respect him, to the point of extending their alliance far beyond its initial terms.
Well, they're dating, okay.
Sure, Luffy drives him up the wall sometimes and can't stick to an established plan for the life of him, but without his help, Law never would have been able to take Doflamingo down and get his revenge.
Boyfriend.
Final question.
Boyfriend.
How many Law X Luffy stories are in our archive of our own? Free rights. I knew you would do this.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a ship.
That's good.
I'm gonna say 180.
Alright,
I'm gonna say not enough.
give me a number.
There will be 2 more after this.
I say 327.
Claire, I need a number just to see how close we are.
Atlanta.
You look like you're gonna cry.
I feel like I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna say 500.
Claire wins. 2,279.
What?
The second highest out of the series.
Wait, what's the highest of the series?
The highest is Zoro x Sanji because they hate each other.
Who's Zoro?
Zoro is a swordsman in Luffy's crew. He fights with 3 swords at once, one in each hand and one in his mouth.
Oh yeah, Nathan drew that. Nathan drew him.
Yeah, and Sanji is a cook who respects the hell out of women and hates Zoro.
Love that.
He fights with his hands in his pockets because he's a chef and he doesn't want to sully his cooking hands, so he kicks exclusively to
That's
fight.
some king
You know
stuff
what?
right there.
Like, every time they interact, it usually comes to them physically fighting each other.
I respect.
But when the
I respect
stuff
that
comes
so
down to
much.
it, they will absolutely team up and put aside their differences and fight whatever's with them.
Then get married.
And, yes.
Wow. Wow.
In conclusion, there's no way to predict where the D will appear next. You can be sure that big things are coming when it does. Oh lord, too many innuendos. Abort essay, shut it all down.
Oh. It's the D has a little bit of.
Alright. Who's be keeping track of their history points?
I have been.
I caught track of mine. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I have 6.
I have 8.
Claire is our One Piece
Extremely
master.
Claire.
I've never seen it in my life.
The one who didn't know what One Piece was.
I have no idea.
Congratulations.
I thought it was a swimming suit.
It technically is.
No.
There you go.
It's Claire
I
coming out
expect jelly
here
beans
with,
now.
it's Claire coming out here with the not enough.
Not enough. That's true if you
Such a
guess an
dumb
extremely high number.
Well, I figured if it's an 1,000-part thing, it's gotta be pretty popular.
Oh,
And
yeah.
people love to ship anime characters.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Especially dudes who hate each other.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I do love how you were presenting, and Claire and I both at the same time were like, oh, this is pretty good, pretty fine. And then you're like, he dies immediately. I'm like,
As soon as you did it, I was like, oh boy.
He's too fine.
Yep. Also, how did I know you would immediately go, okay, so they're dating? I was like, I got it. Here we go.
You know your cousin. You do know a Sequoia.